This is Nifsky. He's currently doing a speedrun of the original Super Mario Bros. This isn't just any speedrun. This is the fastest pace anyone has ever been on. This is the greatest Super Mario Bros. Speedrun to date. But Nifsky hates this run. He throws the run away on purpose. Why would he do that? Well, Nifsky hates this run because he's literally too good.
I can't handle it, dude. Playing too good. This is the furthest someone's ever been on mid 54 pace. I'm not continuing it. No. This is supposed to be a joke. What is happening?
Real quick, this video is sponsored by me. I just wanted to thank you for watching. Simply watching all of my videos is a fantastic way to support. If you want to support further, I have a Patreon, and I also have merch with some pretty cool designs. Thanks for enjoying my stuff, and subscribe if you haven't, as I'd really love to hit 200,000 subscribers this year. Here's a little introduction to Nifsky for those who aren't familiar with him. Nifsky is, without question, the greatest Super Mario Bros. Speedrunner of all time. There's really no room for debate at this point. Throughout this game's history, there have been a lot of amazing players. Plenty of different runners have competed at the top and held various world records. There are only 4 runners which have ever been truly dominant though. Andrew G in the early days, around 2007 to 2014, Darbian from 2016 to 2018, myself from 2018 to 2020, and Nifsky right now. These are the only people who have held the world record in all of the categories on the game's leaderboard, usually having all of them at the same time even.
So the sweep is complete.
About a month ago, Nifsky's All-Stars Warpless record got beaten, but before that, he was holding all 6 of the world records. That alone doesn't even come close to showing how incredible of a speedrunner he is though. I'm about to share not only his insane resume with you, but also how he has gotten his achievements in a manner unlike anyone else. And no, I don't mean because he plays on a keyboard. That's the first thing we need to get completely out of the way. I know there will be some people out there who won't really care what I have to say about this and will just write off his runs no matter what since it's not original hardware. But if you have any doubts about Nifsky's skill at the game because he plays on keyboard, those doubts cannot stand against the things he has done on original hardware. Last July, there was a speedrunning event called Pace, and during the event, there were several different competitions for Super Mario Bros. One of these was an LTA, or Live Time Attack, where you have a limited amount of time, and the goal is to get the best run you can within that time limit. You can reset as much as you want, and when time's up, the standings are based on this little leaderboard of everyone's best time they were able to achieve. The LTA event for Super Mario Bros. Featured 6 players. There were more than 6 people who wanted to compete, but only 6 spots available, so players had to qualify through a previous competition in order to make the cut. Alright, with the top 6 players ready to go, they have 1 hour to get the best time they can in Super Mario Bros. Any%. It is a really short speedrun, but wow, only 1 hour? How good of a time can you really get in just 1 hour? Well, let's see what Nifsky can do.
So Bullet Big Glitch, first run of the night for Nifsky.
All right, just 456 first
456
try, real quick.
pace. First try, 456 from Nifsky. That is incredible. So good luck, everyone.
It looks like this is what we call 455 pace.
We are 10 minutes in, 456, 455 from Nifsky. This is a clinic.
In 10 minutes, Nifsky has already gotten a 456.8 and then a 455.7. I definitely believed he'd get this time within the hour, but to get 456 and then 455 just immediately is so insane. 20 minutes later, he gets a 455.5, which Yeah. He absolutely destroyed the competition, which again were the top 5 best qualifying runners besides him. And all of this was on NES console, NES controller, CRT TV. This guy is no joke. Right here, he even plays the final room of 8-4 with one hand, so he can use the other hand to stop the timer right when he touches the axe. Nifsky is too good. And that was only one of the events Nifsky competed in. He took home first place in pretty much everything he touched that day. Well, almost everything. Speaking of other events, a quick aside here to point out that a lot of the events here used a special new technology that combined the gameplay of all 6 players into one single view. This was the coolest speedrunning event to spectate. Even if you're just trying to keep track of 2 different screens, you'll always miss stuff during races like these. But here, we have all 6 on one screen, and you can see in real time the tiny differences that different strategies make. Especially in a game like this, it's so cool to see runners finish within milliseconds of each other. This whole thing was made by Flibbity Dibbity. Definitely go subscribe to his channel. He has a ton of awesome videos showcasing this technology, and he'll be releasing videos about these races we did at Pace very soon. Anyway, back to Nifsky. His performance at this event is almost unbelievable, and he was playing on controller. In the practice room at the event, he got a 454 on controller. He also set a world record in the Both Quest category while he was there, on controller. No one has ever been known to switch to keyboard to make a trick easier, but Nifsky switched from keyboard to controller in order to get the second ever perfect 8-4. The first ever perfect 8-4 being done by Lakuki on a controller. So, can we please put the keyboard issue to bed? This performance is undeniable. Alright, we know Nifsky is an absolute monster at this game, regardless of what platform he's playing on. But it's not just the fact that he has all the records that makes him the greatest of all time. It's not even the fact that he has them all in the hardest era to hold them all, where each one is significantly more optimized than ever before. The craziest thing about Nifsky is that he gets world records so fast. More often than not, it takes speedrunners weeks or months or even years to get a really strong world record. There's the occasional world record in just a few days or just a few attempts, but that's really rare. Not for Nifsky. Nifsky does this regularly. And they're not world records in categories that just aren't that optimized yet or anything like that. These are strong world records. Let's go over just a few of the instances where he's done this. Okay, we have Super Mario Bros. Any percent in 454.881 in 3 days of attempts. Super Mario Bros. Any percent in 454.798, the current world record, in 2 days of attempts. Super Mario Bros. Warpless in 1855, on the first run of the day, day 3 of attempts. Super Mario Bros. Warpless in 1854, in 3 days of attempts. Super Mario Bros. Glitchless in 502.7, first attempt ever. This run was the first run to ever save the fastest frame rule you can in 4.2, and it was his first run ever, and he clutched out the world record with it. Moving on, we have Super Mario Bros. All-Stars version on the Super Nintendo, any percent in 455, the current world record on his first day of attempts. We have SMB1 All-Stars version Warpless in 1945 on his first day of attempts. Nifsky has also ran a few categories in the Japanese Mario 2, aka the Lost Levels. When the world record for any percent was 755, Nifsky was doing 754 attempts. On a whim, he decided to do some 753 attempts as a joke. Here's how that went.
Oh my gosh, dude. What? 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 How? How? How?
Check out the description of that run. I don't think I'll ever have the need to play this category again, and I never thought I'd go for 753 in the first place. Huh, interesting. So anyway, 5 months later he got 752 on his first day of attempts, and a year after that he got 751 on his 4th day of attempts. Here's how the leaderboard looks now. For a game like this, that is an absolutely absurd gap from 1st to 2nd place. Nifsky is too good. He also got 455.3 in SMB1's second quest category on his first attempt ever, and later a 454 in second quest on his first day of attempts. But I'll touch more on what that category is and that specific run in just a bit. As you can see, Nifsky is the craziest speedrunner I've maybe ever beheld. He's also dabbled in some other games like Red Ball, which is another game known for having tons of frame perfect and precise tricks. And we can see from the description of his former world record run that that game was no exception for him. And between setting insane records in Super Mario Bros., he'll randomly bust out some literal perfect run of a Mario ROM hack or two. He posts incredible individual level runs, doing strats that would normally only be done in a task, and is constantly driving down the human sum of best and pushing the limit of what's possible in these games. Nifsky is too good. Now, I've said that phrase a few times, Nifsky is too good, but that's just a fun expression. A little bit of hyperbole. Let's talk about why he's literally too good. Too good for his own good. This man is absolutely suffering from success. Nifsky has been plowing through his speedrunning goals so fast that he actually doesn't get much time to enjoy it. Speedrunning is something that, at the end of the day, we do for fun. And even though you want to achieve your goals and set new records, the grind itself is a whole lot of fun too. Especially when it's one of your favorite categories, it's really nice and enjoyable, even if it takes a while to get what you're after. But Nifsky rarely gets this experience. His number of attempt sessions is hardly ever reaching the double digits these days. I was talking with him at PACE, and he was telling me about his plans to return to Super Mario Bros. Any percent soon. His consistency with the insane strategy to match the tasks in 4.2 has been improving, and it's time to get a 454.6 or better on the boards. But here's the part that kills me. He told me that he hopes this grind actually takes him a while this time. Dude, like, I get it, but man, what a problem to have. Like, beating Super Mario Bros. Any percent world record, matching the tasks all the way to 8.4 for the first time ever in history. I really hope I don't pull that off in just a day or two. You know you're good when you have to start hoping you don't achieve your goals.
I literally don't care. I didn't want that to be the run because that happened so fast.
Nifsky is literally too good. After getting home from PACE, Nifsky had a couple other goals he wanted to achieve before starting his hopefully more than 1 week long any percent journey. He did attempts to take a full second off of his own SMB1 Warpless record and got that in 3 days. Then he set his sights on getting a 454 in SMB1's second quest. Second quest is kind of like a New Game Plus sort of thing in Super Mario Bros. After you beat the game, Peach presents you with a new quest, which you can begin by pushing button B. Starting the game with this mode active has a few different effects. The most obvious is that all Goombas have been replaced with Buzzy Beetles. Well, except for this one. Ground enemies also move noticeably faster, which makes areas like this spot in 1.2 a lot harder. Second quest also has you play the hardest version of each stage. Some stages in the first half of this game are repeated in the second half, but made slightly harder. For example, 5.3 is a copy of 1.3, but now with bullet bills. 5.4 is a copy of 2.4, but with a lot more fire bars. In second quest, you get the bullet bills in 1.3 and the extra fire bars in 2.4. None of that actually affects the any percent run, but what does affect the any percent run is that all moving platforms in the game are narrower. Whether they're horizontally moving platforms or vertically moving platforms, they're shorter now. This platform in 1.2 is still just barely long enough to do the regular setup for this pipe clip, but the platform in 4.2 being shorter presents a problem. You want to jump off this platform to hit the vine block, so the piranha plant in this pipe despawns. If you do the usual wall clip strategy to set up the wrong warp, then this platform is just too high when you reach the end of it, and there's no way to hit the vine block fast. An alternative strategy is used where you clip into this pipe instead, achieving the goal of getting Mario farther to the right side of the screen, while also loading in the piranha plant, who's just barely off screen over here. That gives it enough time to go down, so we can go in the pipe quickly. This is a pretty brilliant strategy, and it just barely works. So yeah, Nifsky's goal was to get 454 on second quest. Only 5 people have gotten a 454 at all at this point, and he wanted to do it with the added challenge of the faster enemies and the much more precise 4.2 strategy. Well, as we can expect from Nifsky at this point, he did it in 1 day. But that's not even the craziest part of the story. That's not why I'm telling you all of this. The reason we're all here today is because of what happened next. It's become somewhat of a tradition at this point, after you get a world record in this game, to do 9 more attempts to try and beat it again. It's a silly thing that spawned from when I got the any percent world record in 2018, and then kept doing runs and beat the record again 9 attempts later. So yeah, Nifsky's doing his 9 meme attempts, and to make things even more absurd, he decides to go for mid 454. That means doing this strategy in 4-2, which isn't in the current world record for runs of the main first quest. It still works on second quest, even with the shorter platform, because you do a bump into this block right here as part of the trick, and that gives time for the platform to be lower, so you can still hit the vine. At this point in time, this trick had been done on world record pace twice ever. Once by Miniland, and once by Nifsky. Both runs ended in 8-1, with Minilands getting farther. Both of those runs happened in July of 2022, and here we are 1 year later, with Nifsky on his 7th out of 9 runs he's doing as a joke.
Oh my, no. I actually just want to kill the run right now. No, I'm not kidding. I want to kill the run right now. Can I kill the run? Please, someone just say yes in chat. I want to kill the run, dude. I don't want to get this. I actually just don't want to get this. This should be, oh, dude. This is the furthest someone's ever been on mid 54 pace. And I'm doing it in second quest. Dude, no. I'm killing the run. I don't care. I'm not continuing that. I'm killing this run. I'm not continuing it. No. I'm not getting mid in second quest. This is supposed to be a joke. What is happening? What?
Nifsky gets the fastest pace in Super Mario Bros. Ever in history, tying the task through 5 out of 8 levels. He gets the super precise movement to get past this Piranha Plant, on pace with the task. This run very well could have gone all the way. But he throws it away. This run was too much for him. He didn't want to accidentally beat the any % world record, but on second quest. Nifsky is literally too good. I know the decision by Nifsky to purposefully kill the greatest Super Mario Bros. Speedrun of all time is probably a bit baffling, and yeah, it's kind of confusing, and in my opinion, if you want it to die, keep playing to 8-4 and try and match the task there too. Worst case scenario, you accidentally perform the greatest speedrun of all time. But anyway, here is Nifsky's full explanation for why he did what he did. You can pause to read the whole thing now if you want to. I do want to focus in on this last sentence. He's doing proper mid 454 attempts very soon, and has no doubt he'll make it back to 8-2 in no time. And that he did. Nifsky has started those any % world record attempts back up, and he did indeed make it back to 8-2 in no time on his second day of attempts.
That's another run. Yep, I got it. No way. Please. No way! No way! Okay. No!
Nifsky made it not only to 8-2, but to 8-3. And had he jumped 1 frame earlier on this flagpole glitch, we could have seen an absolutely massive milestone in this game's history. A perfect run to 8-4. Once you get that, it just becomes a frame war in 8-4 until maybe someone gets a truly perfect run someday. But anyway, if you want to see the next Super Mario Bros. World record happen, go follow and tune into Nifsky's streams. You may only have 1 day left. Thanks for watching.
AT. Yes! 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 Yes!
It turns out, you did only have 1 day left. Nifsky got the world record on his 3rd day of attempts. If you're not watching this guy, you are missing out. There's like a 60% chance he gets a world record every time he streams. I was afraid he was going to do this the entire time I was working on this video, and he did. Well, that just means more content, because now I'm going to crank out a video with some interesting details about his run. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. I wasn't able to finish this video before he beat the any % world record, and Nifsky's grind didn't last as long as he'd hoped. Nifsky is just too good.